Hello everyone, welcome to my video. I appreciate you stopping by. I'm Grandpa Hickory. Grandpa's Depression Era Wisdom. I wanted to tell you what my daddy taught me about the Great Depression. My daddy lived through it, and he impressed upon me the need to have a place out in the country where you can have a homestead. You can have a wood stove, a wood cook stove. You can cut your own firewood and split your own wood. You can go squirrel hunting and rabbit hunting, and you'll have a place to fish on your own land. You won't have to trespass on somebody else's land or try to go out on a lake where game wardens are waiting to hit you with fines. They do these things, especially in times of turmoil and trouble in our nation. But my daddy taught me the importance of knowing how to make cornbread in a skillet. My daddy taught me how to scale fish and clean fish that I caught. He taught me how to make a throw line. Of course, back then we used nylon, but nowadays you can get the monofilament lines. Get the bite sinkers that you put on there and bite them closed. And you put your hook at the bottom and you got a little cork with a little arrow sticking up. That's the best cork you can get your hands on. A lot of people buy the bobbers. But what we used back in the 50s and all that, back in the 40s, 30s, 20s, was the bobber that was a stick bobber. And that's what we used. My daddy taught us how to cook fish. My daddy taught us how to raise chickens and to gather eggs. My daddy taught us how to make a garden and raise tomatoes, zucchini squash, yellow squash, to raise corn, to raise green beans and pinto beans, and peas of all kinds, the black peas, etc., black-eyed peas. And my daddy taught us how to raise watermelons and cantaloupes. And these are things you need to know, especially the tomatoes and everything, and the raising potatoes. These are things you need to strive to learn how to do. My daddy taught me all of these things when I was a lad of a boy. And we were the baby boomers, and everything was looking great for us, you know. We didn't think we needed these things, but I always kept them in my mind, and guess what? I'm 73 years old now, and I am heading as fast as I can to get my own place in the country where I can have a homestead, where I can do what my daddy taught me to do. Friends, it's time to prepare. It's best to be self-sufficient. You can go solar and wind and completely get away from all of these utilities. My daddy taught me how to use rainwater. You put it through a series of filters, and you have clear, crystal clear water without a well until you can afford to have a well put in. But even then, you want to keep your rainwater. You can use it to feed your stock, like your sheep, your goats, your cows, give your chickens water, etc. Your geese, your turkeys. My daddy taught us how to raise all these. Because if you do, you will be totally self-sufficient. And you won't have to depend on somebody else. I know it's a lot of work. And my daddy taught us how to squirrel hunt, rabbit hunt. He taught us how to clean squirrels, how to clean rabbits. He taught us how to clean chickens and turkeys and geese and ducks and quail. And he taught us how to survive. My daddy showed us a trap. It's a box. You set it up with a twig like this, a branch, and you got a string going from this to where you're hidden, and you put bread all over, sprinkled bread, day-old bread or bread you're going to throw away, and you crinkle it on the ground in that trap, and then when the birds come in and go into that trap, you pull it. You can cook birds and survive off of the bird meat. It's extremely high in protein, and it is clear of any antibiotics or anything like that. And you can survive. This is depression wisdom that I learned from my dad, and I am passing on to you. Check each one of them out. Sit down and write down everything you want to know about. Learn how to raise Pharaoh quail. It's called Couturnix, Couturnix, Couturnix quail. They produce eggs like you wouldn't believe. They produce meat like you would not believe, and it is scrumptious. You can smoke it. Oh, you can do everything with it. You can make stews out of it. Oh, friends, you can survive with so much meat you would not believe it. And also you can go and fish with your throw lines. My daddy made throw lines. It was line with a sinker and with a hook at the bottom, and you would take it and you would put bait on it. You go out there, you catch grasshoppers, or you dig earthworms close to the water's edge. You put it in the water and you pull in one perch bluegill after the other, and you've got fresh food. And you can scale them, you can fillet them, you can do whatever you want to do. You can survive from the Great Depression era wisdom that I'm giving you from Grandpa Hickory. Hit the like button, subscribe. I'm Grandpa Hickory. I'll see you on the next video. You can survive.